Happy New Year, Leo, and happy January of 2026. The energies are here. Can't wait to discuss what is coming up for you for your transformational tarot. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Cello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for January of 2026. Leos, my luscious Leos. And I am so excited to be doing this reading for you, whether it is your sun, moon, rising. You can also watch it for your Venus and Mars. And this is also for those who have a Leo in their lives that they love. This is a great way to stay up and connected to what their needs might be. So let's dive in here. We are going to be pulling an overarching theme from the Healing Spirits from Gordon Smith. And today the card deck that called to me for you guys is the Dragon's Tarot. And I'm sorry I forget the name of the author, but it's going to be good. You're going to love it. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so I also just want to share as I'm shuffling this up for you guys that I'm super excited. After 11 years of being on YouTube, I have finally reached the ability to provide some memberships, to provide deeper communication and connection with all my peeps. So if you are interested in checking that out, I encourage you to go on click the join button and check out what I've got. I've got 3 different options there and would love to be able to connect with you guys. All right, let's dive in. Sorry, I'm just gonna, always cat in my studio, always cat messing with my stuff. Okay, here we go. Success isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Wow. Okay, so really feeling like January right off the hop is inviting you, asking you, calling you to really believe in yourself and to recognize that it's not about the lack. It's not about what isn't here, what isn't in my space. It is absolutely about the dealing with what is here right now. This could also be the gratitude card, right? Staying focused for gratitude for the things that I have. Some days, and I'm not going to lie, some days it's rough. And the only thing that I can come up with, in terms of gratitude is I'm grateful that my fur babies are healthy, that I'm grateful that I took breath today in my lungs and that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful for hot water, to have a nice shower. Like sometimes it is going to those basics, life can be really challenging. But then there are also so many other things that we can be grateful for. And when you do take that exercise of writing down 5 things that you're grateful for or 10 things that you're grateful for in a day, it really does change your perspective and remind you that, oh yeah, there's a lot more that is good going in my life right now than there isn't. And it's all about perspective. So I really feel like January, your guides are saying success is upon you. And it's all in how you are viewing it. It's all in how you are looking at it, because frequency is important. How you're viewing it and how you're seeing it is going to dictate what comes next, right? Are you ready for more, or are you ready for what you don't have? More of what you don't have, No, you want more of what you have, right? Bring that on so that I can speak to having more of what makes me feel good, what lights my fire and floats my boat. Okay, so our first question here, where we are at in the present. Where are you right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? 7 of Cups. Okay. So Leos, I feel like, as we are at the beginning of this new year, I feel like a lot of you, of course, it's a general reading, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. But I feel like a lot of you have really spent, a lot of time evaluating where you've been and really putting the time into figuring out where it is that you want to go moving forward. And as a result of this, I feel like the situation that you're dealing with right now is you're recognizing that there are a lot of different options along your path. And some of you are looking at it and going, oh my God, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know which path to take or which is the right path. And some of you are looking at it and going, okay, there's a lot to fit in here. So let me schedule it into my calendar. Let me, really sit into the plan of what this is going to look like, or what this is supposed to look like moving forward. And what I'm really drawn to is the dragon here is actually sleeping and he's dreaming, right? So it's the dreams and the illusions, but I'm reading this as you having choices and options. So connect to those choices and options this month from the perspective of what feels the most aligned, what feels the most exciting for you to pursue. Again, success isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have, right? So it's understanding, okay, this feels really good to me, and this is what I'm going to choose to do with it. I'm going to take action steps because it feels easy to take the action step. It feels fulfilling. It feels exciting to take the action step. I feel like that's really important. When we ask the question, what part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? I feel almost like you're in a space of wanting to shift, having done some of the work and had a conversation with your guides to determine which way you want to shift. And January is kind of like the month that says, okay, do you really mean it? Like, are you sure? Is this really what you're wanting? Is this the shift that you're wanting to make? I'm also feeling for some of you that there is a choice. Like, in order for you to choose the path that you're feeling the most aligned to, there's a choice that is required about letting something or someone go for a particular period of time. And what I want to say here is trust that if it's meant to be, it's going to come back to you, but it will come back in a different form. That's okay, because the path that you're choosing is going to change you. You're not going to come out the other side of that path the same version of you that you are now. That's the whole point. I feel like there is such a desire now for you to use what you've created, what you have established, to bring you to the next level. And some of you, I feel, have been maybe hesitant or resistant to some of those changes. Well, I want that thing, but if that thing means I've got to let this thing go in order to make that thing happen, I'm just going to stick with what I've got. And we're all human. We all do that from time to time. The challenge here is that you're not realizing that this is hanging on to this is no longer an option. And so if we resist letting go of that thing, it makes it even harder. It's kind of like the universe turns I'll just use this as an analogy, a relationship, a romantic relationship that you're in where you're like, okay, I know I need to leave, or I know I'm unhappy, but I'm just putting in the time until I find somebody else. If the universe is trying to move you in a different direction because there's a better partner, over here on this path, but you're just kind of hanging out here, chilling like a villain until something better comes along, you never get on this path. And so if this is a path that is connected to your divine blueprint, your angels and guides are going to, give you some hints as to, okay, you want to let this go. You want to shift out of this as soon as you possibly can because there's something better waiting. If you don't listen to that, eventually the universe is going to give the universal frying pan to the head or rip the universal rug out from under you. And then, that relationship where you could have, wrapped it up in a less emotionally stressful way, now there's all sorts of, everything's just kind of blown up, right? And so now you've got to clean that up and clean up the pieces of the mess too. So I feel like, Leos, January is inviting you to really be honest with yourself about what you're feeling called to release. Because if you don't do it, I feel like it's going to make it harder on the other side. And all of this is happening for you. Look at all of these wonderful options. And, like I said, some of you are looking at it going, okay, all of these options are a possibility for me. I can say yes to all of them right now, but I have to create room and I have to create space for them. This is the catalyst. What's fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Yeah, so you've been feeling really despondent, feeling really disillusioned with life. It's interesting that we have dreams and illusions. And we've also got the disillusionment card. So feeling here like you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're sick and tired of feeling that level of disappointment from others, and in some cases from yourself, disappointed in yourself that you've not been able to break a pattern, or that, here I go again. I'm finding myself in the same boat or in the same situation. What's beautiful about the Four of Cups is it's an opportunity for you to turn that frown upside down. If you're feeling the despondency, I like to say this is connected to the Hanged One card. It's the pause and breathe. It's the, okay, you're in limbo. You have no choice but to wait. Like there's no, you can bang your head against the wall as many times as you want. The bottom line is nothing's going to happen until it's ready to happen. So in the meantime, take advantage of this. Meditate, reconnect with your soul space, reconnect with that source energy. Allow it to fill your love cup, right? What's really cool about this card is you've got the one dragon who's feeling sorry for himself, crying over, his spilled milk kind of thing. And then you've got this other dragon that's like, I'm sorry that these 3 cups are empty for you, but I've got a brand new cup. You can have some of mine. And you have to be open to the universe's invitations to try something new. I do feel like there's an element of disappointment around something that you really thought was going to turn out in one particular way. And it's not that it's not turning out the way that you need it to. It's that it's not turning out the way you want it to. But the need is there. The universe is providing you with the need. You just have to open your eyes and look around, right? Or you have to give yourself permission to say, I release the expectation of what I thought this was going to be, and I take the consolation prize. Because maybe without me realizing it, the consolation prize was actually the better prize for me to begin with. So I feel like the Four of Cups is actually here to fuel you and fuel this transformation by encouraging you to be okay with delay, being okay with disappointment, but looking at the other opportunities that are being presented in your life, focusing on what you do have, not what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and see how you can turn that frown upside down. Your deep root, what deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? It's you. It's your Leo card, the sun. So we were just talking about, disappointment, disillusion, and despondency here, all the D's. And here we have the sun card in terms of the deep belief, wound, or soul contract. And what I'm feeling here is January is really highlighting for you the divine blueprint. It's highlighting for you what you've really come here to do. Yes, you can have, the fun and the this and the that and the other thing. But if things are no longer fun for you, this is a reminder that you're the one who's choosing your own path. And so if you continue to say yes to things that are bringing you, frustration, that are feeling like they're holding you in place, keeping you stuck, if you're focusing on the things that are not working out in the way you want it to, you're going to keep repeating the cycle. And so I feel like the sun card is coming up here to say, let's regroup, let's realign to the soul blueprint. What, from a soul perspective, have I really come here to do and to be? And this isn't talking about soul purpose. That can get pretty big. What I'm feeling here instead is this is talking about the question of, who do I want to be? We could even say, what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? Who do I want people to see me as? How do I want them to experience me out in the world? What effect do I want to have on the people that I interact with on a daily basis? That, I feel, is what's really transpiring here. And there's a part of you that is feeling not worthy, or feeling like you missed the boat, or feeling somehow like you screwed it up the first time, so why would this time be any better? Again, general reading, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. But I feel here like the sun card is the light of truth. It shines that light. And of course, it also represents your heart and soul energy and your, the externalization of your soul blueprint, the externalization of you as a soul, individualized. So I feel like there's kind of a redrawing of the maps here, or a realignment to what that is. And I feel like the universe in January is going to be bringing you, I'm hearing the word several opportunities in the form of people saying things, communicating things to you, you overhearing somebody else's conversation and receiving something in that conversation that reminds you, soul blueprint, that's my focus, not the ego. It's the divine blueprint. Who do I want to be? And how do I want to, to impress that upon others? Because January, I mean, you don't need to be psychic to know that a lot of us are, thinking, preparing for the next year, goal setting, all that kind of stuff. And naturally, January, I want to say, can set the tone for this year ahead. But I feel like specifically for you, Leo, that the divine blueprint, the soul blueprint, and the realignment to it is going to make or break 2026. 2026 has so much positive, incredible energy. This is building energy. This is pure creation energy. You can get in there and whatever you want, the sky's the limit. I mean, you're going to have to do kind of the work towards it, but I mean, everything is there and it's available to you. But it's only available to you if you step up and you take it. If you're sitting back, chilling out, and feeling sorry for yourself rather than chilling out with your eyes wide open and looking at other opportunities, that's going to cause a problem. So live in your light, live in your truth, readjust and realign to that soul, the soul blueprint. Because if you don't do it in January, I feel like the rest of the year, it always feels like you're, like behind the eight ball. You're trying to play catch up. What's dying away? What part of you is dying away, and what role pattern or identity has run its course? Interesting. The Sire of Swords. So the Sire in this deck is the King. We have the King of Swords energy. Overthinking. What's dying away? Overthinking. Also, interesting. For some of you, please don't shoot the messenger. It's just what I'm getting. For some of you, hubris. I always make a joke. I have an old friend. I had an old friend who I used to always make the joke, oh my God, I had to wait in line and, I had to wait in line for, 20 minutes and yada, yada. And it was so frustrating, whatever. And I always say, like, oh my God, don't you know who I am? And of course, being facetious. But the point of that is there's that part of me that's like, I wish I had that VIP. I wish I didn't have to wait in line. I wish I, was a step above in that particular moment. But guess what? I'm human just like everybody else, right? And so I share this with you because I feel like this is something that I want to say you're kind of waking up to. Those areas in your life where maybe you've been more ego-based or ego-driven. And again, we all do it. It's not, it's not just a Leo thing. We all have our moments, no matter what your sign is. I'm just hearing that is something that you're kind of dealing with, is those areas in your life where the ego wants to feel special. The ego wants to stand out. And so therefore the ego tends to, steer the ship and drive the bus rather than it being a heart and soul led journey, right? Or a heart and soul led decision. So feeling that is being cleared away, with the sword of truth, all of that is being cleared away so that you now can really connect to what I do have, I need to make use of it. Oh, I'm just being shown, this happens a lot to me, and I'm sure it happens a lot to you guys as well. I buy the groceries for, the next 2 weeks with every good intention of, making this recipe and eating in and doing that thing and whatever. And if I don't have a day where I've planned out the recipes, made the recipes and put them in the freezer, I'm gonna let that shit rot in the fridge because it's just so much easier to call for carry out or to go out for, a bite to eat kind of thing. And so I feel like some of that patterning is dying away for you in terms of, um, like, again, making use of what's there rather than always seeking outside of you something that isn't. That is dying away. And it feels really good that it's dying away because it's no longer serving you. It's not something that is going to really get you to where you want to be on the other side of it. So don't be surprised. I don't feel like this is people knocking you down a peg or two, although there may be one or two, sort of instances of that for some of you. But I feel more it's like you're recognizing where you are being a little more ego driven. It feels like source lets it doesn't have to be a humiliating experience for that to happen. But you are shedding that, and that feels good to shed. This is your highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Interesting. So making the decision that you've been putting off making for a really long time. This card for me, I often say, is the shit sandwich card. It's the choice between shit sandwich A and shit sandwich B. Nobody wants to eat a shit sandwich, but sometimes in order to get out of the stuck, we need to choose a path. It's not about making the right or the wrong decision. It's about making a decision, sticking with it so that you can, have more options moving forward. And I feel very much that this is kind of what you've been feeling. You've been stuck in these old patterns. You've been stuck in wishing that things were different, wishing for a past time. And I'm feeling here, Leos, that you need to use your fire to burn all that shit away. And this particular dragon is, like protecting itself, covering itself. I feel here like the message around this is that you're recharging. That yes, I have to make the decision that I've been putting off, for whatever reason. But once I make that decision and I commit to it and I don't look back, I'm going to get to where it is that I want to be. I'm ready to experience, look at it's a gold dragon. I'm ready to experience the luxury, the opulence, the prosperity. And, it doesn't have to be about money. This can be, opulence and luxury and abundance in friendships. It can be that in your, level of fulfillment at work. It can be that in your relationship with your children. I mean, sky's the limit, right? But this is saying it's time. Now's the time, seize the day. You got to make that choice. And no, it's not going to be easy. It's not fun. That's why you've been putting it off for so long. But if you want to be at your fullest potential, this is the choice that needs to be made. Remember, no right or wrong. It's not going to be pleasant, but on the other side of it, you're free of it. So I feel like the highest Phoenix potential is really speaking to liberation. And because it's a minor arcana and not a major arcana that we're dealing with here, I feel like this is a decision that is not going to be, life altering or life changing, in that kind of dramatic dun, dun, dun way. But it is something that has been kind of niggling at you. It's been in the back of your mind. It's been taking up a lot of space, a lot of time, a lot of your life force. And you want to get your life force back. You're ready to move on to something new. So don't take that lightly. Move in the direction that you feel is going to be the best, direction. But at the end of the day, just choose a path because you need to get out of the stuckness. Okay. Next step. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support your next phase? Oh my God, I love it. The Fool. So yes, you are ready for this new adventure. You've been ready for it for a while, or you've maybe, a part of you has known that you've been ready for it a while, and a part of you has been a bit resistant, right? We talked about that resistance piece before. But I'm seeing now that it's the new adventure, the new journey. And what did I say about this before? If you don't take this path, if your guides are trying to move you in a different direction, I think it was the first card. If you don't, you don't choose the path that you're on, you don't make that decision, to let something go, and we got, we got decision information here, you're going to stay stuck until the universe pulls the rug out from under you. It's waiting for you. And I'm hearing that for a lot of you, the 27th of January is going to be significant. And it's towards the end of the month that all is revealed. And like I said to you earlier, if you don't make the decision this month, it's going to kind of I don't want to say the whole year is ruined, because, that's just fatalistic and that's just not true. But it sets a particular tone, and it makes it harder for you to be able to say yes to the opportunities that present themselves throughout the year, because you're having to do double the work in order to be able to say yes. So the Fool card is coming up because this is what you are working towards. And I feel that this is coming up because your guides want to empower you. They want to say to you, hey, this is the thing to look forward to. Don't hold back on that. It's true. There's something better coming along, and it's going to be tangible. You're going to be able to see it in real time. You're going to know, oh, that's the thing. Okay, I'm really glad that I did what I did because I'm ready for this. Your role in this process. How are you navigating the transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Wow, lots of choice and energy that's coming up. Lover's card is about choices. It's about reflection. How I see myself through your eyes, how you see me through your eyes. All of that, good, fun, love, and stuff. And I'm feeling here like you want to be honestly evaluating yourself, honestly looking at the reflection in the mirror, but not doing it from a place of bashing yourself, burning yourself to the ground. But also, we talked about the word hubris coming up. You also want to look at where that hubris may still be lingering, or where that hubris brought you to places that you don't want to be. It's almost like a self-chosen humility, I feel, is what is going to be coming up here in January. And again, I just want to say, I don't feel like you're going to have a lot of people knocking you down a peg or two in public, or having, there be, public embarrassment or anything like that. I do feel that a lot of this is happening kind of behind closed doors, but I do feel very strongly here that it's up to you to be able to see not through rose-colored glasses, or not through poop-colored glasses, if you happen to be in the mode of, berating yourself and belittling yourself. That's not what this is about. This is about honest reflection, because when you finally see exactly what it is you need to see, now you know exactly what you need to do to correct it, right? It makes things simpler. So I feel like the Lover's card is bringing a lot of clarity to you as you are behaving, as you are choosing to see the next path, to see the next step, and to see the importance of me seeing this in myself and making this change. This is so important because it's going to inform everything that comes after it. And I do feel for some of you, there's a reinvention that is kind of taking place here as well, where, some of it, you're not going to like what you see. And so you decide, okay, I just don't want to be that. I don't want to be my father. I don't want to be my mother. I don't want to be like my, crazy brother, or my crazy ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, or, whatever it is that you're seeing, look at it honestly, because you're going to be able to flip it around. And that's the beauty of what I see coming up for you. So this, I feel, has the potential for you to boldly rise, but it also has the potential for you to be in resistance mode. So we've talked about that a lot. You're kind of on a precipice here. I feel like, Leo, January is giving you a lot of option, a lot of opportunity to say yes to things or no to things. And, as a result, there are always consequences to our choices. Some of them are good consequences, some of them not so much. Don't beat yourself up over this, but understand that you may have a little war inside of yourself. Like, I really want to do this other thing. I really want to tell this other person off. I really want to, have that second piece of cheesecake, whatever it is. And you absolutely can do that. You absolutely can do that. But does it align with the Fool's journey? Does it align with saying yes to this new opportunity, or preparing yourself to be ready? to say yes to this new opportunity. For some of you, this opportunity is going to require some kind of location, relocation, or like a move, like a physical move, or it could be like a move to a new job, move to a new a department or division, something like that, but definitely movement. I'm getting that for some of you. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or negative influence? Beautiful. It's the Empress. Yes. I really feel like, Leos, this is about you coming alive in a way that, again, the success isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Coming alive again, recognizing that I am abundant. I have so much at my fingertips. I am lucky. You know, some people say I am blessed. You know, I have all the things that I really truly need right now. Something that I read, I think it was Eckhart Tolle. If it wasn't Eckhart Tolle, it was Wayne Dyer, because it was in a phase that I was in many, many years ago, and those were the two that I was, really taking in a lot of their information. And it was really talking about, if you sit in the minute that you're in, if you're really present in this now moment, and you ask yourself, what is wrong in my life, or what is the issue for me right now in this moment? If you're doing the exercise right, you're going to discover that I'm breathing, I'm present, I'm here, I'm, safe, or in a safe space, or I at least, and safely in my head. There's nothing truly wrong in this moment right now. So in this moment right now, I don't have to panic about the wrongness. I can be an observer and make plans about whatever it is that I'm dealing with, understanding that it's happening for me, understanding that if it's shown up in my life, there is a reason for it. And it's maybe up to me to figure out the reason, to learn the lesson, or simply to acknowledge it and to allow it to unfold. So the Empress brings that abundance energy. And I feel like when we're talking about circles of support, this is acknowledging the people that support you, acknowledging the things in your life that you have that make your life easier, that allow you to do what you need to do. For example, I could say to you, I'm grateful for the microphone and the camera, and I'm grateful for my laptop, being in great working condition. I'm grateful for, all the crystals and all the lights and, all the stuff on I'm grateful for the table. I'm grateful for the desk, because it allows me to, do the things that I do. This is what I'm feeling is the connection for you here, Leos. This is focusing on those circles of support. It's not just people. It's all the things that you have that allow you to do you. Hopes and fears. What are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? So, wow, you just have a lot of synergy in the cards that are coming through for you. You're afraid that you're going to get a bit lazy. You're afraid that the work that's required to break out of the patterns, to move forward, to do what you need to do is going to be too much. You're afraid that you're going to invest and the investment is not going to come back to you. And I feel like with this Four of Swords, it's an invitation to literally, once again, we got this message with the Sire of Swords, the King of Swords, get out of your head. This is an invitation to get out of your head, to quiet the monkey mind, and to go more into a heart-based space. Allow the intuition to steer the ship. And I feel like for you, you're not going to fall back. You're not going to not do the things that you need to do. That's just not the way life works. We're always, evolving, ever shifting, ever changing. That's going to happen for you, whether you want for it to happen or not. It just means it'll happen at a snail's pace versus happening, for you in real time, so that you're, making, great strides and leaps and bounds to where you're wanting to be. 4 is manifestation and 4 is foundation. And so I feel like there's a part of you that is afraid to shift up your foundation. You've gotten comfortable with what has been. But again, it's what you do with what you have it's time to do something different. It's time to shift things up. And again, for a lot of you, I feel like you've wanted this for a long time. It may be the fear that's just telling you, like, I don't know how it's going to look, so I'm just afraid of it. And, it's valid. You're afraid of what you're going to have to let go of, what's going to be removed from your path. Nobody likes to anticipate grief. Nobody likes to be in that space. But again, I say to you, what is on the other side is you. What is on the other side of this is that beautiful fool's journey. Something new that's going to bring you higher and better and faster and smarter and all the things and the stuff. You came here to live life, to experience things, not to experience one thing. You came here to continuously experience. So be in that space of allowing yourself to experience. This is your outcome if you stay on course. Who will you be on the other side of this journey in January? And what is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth, the Phoenix cycle? Well, we got the 10 of Cups. Oh my God, it's like the ideal outcome. I'm really drawn to the Aurora Borealis, and I feel we've been talking a lot about you reconnecting to your soul space, and I'm seeing heart energy here. So expressing your soul through your heart space. Soul energy, soul space energy, yellow. So you're expressing your soul space through your heart because you're now reconnected to the heart space. You're not connected to the past and the patterns and the cycles and the getting stuck in the wallow or the heavier stuff. You're saying now, no, I've realigned to my soul blueprint, my soul path, and this is where I'm going. Wow. I love this for you, Leos. I absolutely freaking love this. All right. So that is your transformational tarot for January. I still have some year in preview and year in transformation spots available if you want to get a sneak peek into what is coming for you for this year, either predictively or from a transformational perspective. Click on the link below, book a session with me. Would love to be able to connect with you in that way. Otherwise, guys, again, Happy New Year. So excited to be doing this wild ride called life with you in 2026. And until we see each other again, we will see you on the flip side and transform well.